I've been thinking about the anger around today's announcement from Dominic Cummings, and what led up to it over the weekend mainly. It seemed to me like we'd all been waiting for the train to get out of lockdown, and we were pretty much prepared to say, look, it's not arrived yet. There are bits of it have arrived, and we can start to get our heads above the parapet a little bit and look forward to some loosening. And suddenly, it appears as if all of that was made as nothing, and there's been almost an outpouring of incredulity, of anger, and there's been defence of it, and the press have been dragged into this. I just add there, what do you expect? They're the press, their job is to sell papers. Here's the thing that I think is really helpful in helping us to get to terms with the thinking that's going on, and maybe to understand why people are so hacked off with it all. So, if you can bear with me, the blue line is about the levels of control, of interference that we're prepared to accept from the state, and you can just drop in there what you want. It could be your managers at work, but at the bottom corner there, we've got complete control. So I really am thinking of something, like almost a Nazi or a Soviet police state here. A dictatorship where every movement is controlled, high restrictions on everything you do, and there's close surveillance of what you say, where you are, and what you're doing. So there we are with complete control. And then at the other end of this continuum, we have unrestricted freedoms. So basically, anybody and everybody is free to do exactly as they wish, when they wish, answerable to nobody. And you will, I hope, see there that what we've got is almost a declaration of complete social anarchy, where the strong survive and the weakest float to the bottom. So either end of the continuum is equally unacceptable. So the brown marker is, I'm going to suggest, where most of us would say that's sort of where we like to live our lives. We are more free than controlled. However, we accept that there has to be a degree of control just for society to work. And some of us will nudge it up to the unrestricted end a little bit. And from time to time, there will be occasions where we either take greater degrees of control ourselves or accept it. And this is maybe something that's happened as we take a look at the lockdown restrictions on COVID-19. But let's discuss that on the next clip. At the time of the Prime Minister's announcement on the 23rd of March, I think it was, we went from where we'd existed quite nicely, and there'd been a few warnings maybe that this was on the way, right down following the reddish brown kind of line, down to completely controlled. We were in lockdown, and what most of us, I think, expected that we would come out of lockdown in a phased and staged manner until we got to more or less where we were before. Even though, to be perfectly fair to everybody, conversations were saying, look, whatever the future looks like, it might look a little different for a while. But I think we can all agree that that was more or less the direction of travel we thought we'd be heading in. So what happened? Well, I think it was a purple line, or at least a perception that the purple line happened. And the events with Cummings have served almost a bit of talisman, that there are people in the country to whom the normal rules and regulations don't apply, and they can just take the purple line and go above where most of us existed by consensus anyway. Now, that's caused a reaction. Of course, there's a political response to it, but there's also an angry social response, and that angry social response has been countered by people becoming quite angered at the anger others are expressing. So we're in a bit of a quandary, really. Maybe this thing will just blow itself out over the next few days, and we could get back to a place almost between Green Arrow 1 and Green Arrow 2, where we're taking a look at a planned and phased release from lockdown. However, it is my view that the trust in not only the processes but also the people who deliver those processes has been at least temporarily eroded. That just helps me get my thoughts in order, and I hope it's been of some use or interest to you. Thank you.